Let's jump right into exactly how high-value man speaks to women. High-value men operate on a completely higher level in life than your average Joe, and their dating life is absolutely no exception. They speak differently to women than 99% of guys out there, and women love it. The average guy who gets incredibly anxious in the presence of an attractive girl. He acts like a fool or just completely freezes up. The high-value man flips that power dynamic entirely. He's totally relaxed. He actually makes women nervous without even trying. It's a foundational difference in energy before a single word is even spoken. To understand this dynamic impartially, starting right off with the core mindset. Before we go into anything else, you really need to understand some women are absolutely beautiful. Sure, but they are just mortals like the rest of us. They take a dump in the morning, and their morning breath smells just as bad as every other person. So the golden rule, do not put them on a pedestal. High-value men never look at a woman as if she's some flawless goddess. A man who has actually put in the hard work and discipline to improve himself operates with a totally different belief system. Because he knows there are plenty of beautiful women in the world, he views any single one of them as replaceable in a heartbeat. She has to prove she's more than just an Instagram girl. Erasing that sense of desperation is the very basic foundation that most guys just don't understand. Today, a lot of women have massive egos because they're basically worshipped by simps, getting gassed up online every single day. So what's the high-value strategy here? It's a total reality check. Imagine a room full of average guys going out of their way to impress a girl. The high-value man stands out by treating her like the most basic, replaceable person in the room. He doesn't argue with her, he just refuses to feed the ego, which brings her right back down to reality. Why destroying this ego works? Women have a desire to partner with someone of a higher status. They literally can't be attracted to a guy they consider to be beneath their level. Even if a guy makes way more money or is super intelligent, the second he feeds her ego too much, she categorizes him as a low-value man. Denying her that ego stroke is his way of holding on to his higher status. So, we've got a really clear contrast here. On one side, you have the desperate guys who just can't help themselves, spamming DM inboxes full of over-exaggerated compliments and emojis. But the high-value man? He decides quickly if a girl is even worth his time. If she is, he approaches, gives exactly one genuine compliment, like telling her she's beautiful, and then he keeps it moving. He doesn't stick around mumbling like a fool or playing games. And this is where the psychology really locks in. Because he refuses to stand around and constantly admire her, his validation becomes incredibly scarce. She literally has to earn the next compliment. By not being in a constant mode of validation, his single, genuine compliment becomes worth 1,000 times more than the daily noise she gets from everyone else. Next up, controlling the conversation. Not every approach needs to be some long, drawn-out conversation. It's a simple 4-step process. First, introduce yourself simply. Second, let her speak about herself, because let's face it, people love doing that. Third, keep your own answers brief. And step 4, this is absolutely crucial. You initiate the end of the conversation. Tell her it was nice to meet her, use her name, and get going. The logic here is pretty straightforward. Remember, you are the one who approached her, so you should be the one to wrap it up. High-value men value their time. By actively choosing to walk away first, she is left realizing she did most of the talking, which makes him look mysterious and totally in control of his own timeline. Moving to confidence over validation. Why chase validation when you already know your worth? A low-tier guy asks insecure questions, like, do you think I look good? But the high-value man doesn't need a woman to confirm anything for him. He already knows his value is high, so he remains completely quiet on the subject. Part of knowing how to talk to someone is knowing exactly what not to say. Fishing for compliments is seen as a massive turnoff. The rule is simple. If you're feeling a little insecure in the moment, it is infinitely better to just shut up than to open your mouth and beg for reassurance. And finally, we arrive at the art of mystery. Predictable guys are boring guys. If she knows exactly when you're going to text, the attraction dies. So the high-value man becomes this unsolvable puzzle. He texts back at completely random times. He calls instead of texting. He keeps the gritty details of his career and personal problems totally private. And jealousy traps? He completely ignores them, leaving her constantly wondering what's actually going on in his head. Extreme contrasts are the secret to this mystery. Predictable routines are boring, but unpredictable actions captivate. So one day he might be totally focused on his purpose and too busy to hang out. But the very next day, he surprises her by taking her out to a nice restaurant. This constant behavioral shifting ensures she never quite knows what to expect next.